JJR Films and Vloggs have just released Stay Inside. It's available now on YouTube. Before we have a chat with the boys, let's take a little look at their trial.
Jason? Jason!
Looking for this.
It's dead. I don't like this. Before I do something that I'll regret!
Little Vincent Faith had lost his stick. He didn't know where to find it. He'll shout and he'll yell, so it's him that they'll tell. He'll stay right up till he finds it.
I have the cast, crew, writers, directors, editors, the whole lot sat here with me. We have Josh, Jordan and Ryan. How you doing?
Yeah, we're good, thank you.
Very good, thank you.
Well, first of all, as you are most of the directing, writing, etc. combination, Josh, tell us a bit about how this came about.
Well, it all started about 4 years ago when we were part of the Paul Inker Academy in Wolverhampton, and we met each other, and we all decided that we wanted to make films for a living, and we wanted to be in films and all this. So we came together and we thought, what can we actually do to promote our stuff? So we looked at production companies and getting involved with them. And the major thing is they're just going to change your personality. They'll do how they want to do things. So I thought, what's the best thing to do? Set up our own production company. So we obviously set up JJR, Josh, Jordan, Ryan, and we worked together. And then that's when basically film ideas started coming. I was like, well, I'll write this, I'll write that. We can film them in low budget as possible. And then obviously after a few attempts at writing films and putting them on YouTube, the idea came, let's write a feature film. Let's concentrate on story, let's take our time to come up with characters and backstories and development, and then let's write it, which is where obviously Stay Inside was born.
And again, all a team effort though, because if these guys don't hang on, I wouldn't say that, because they've worked out the character.
Yeah.
They will give you feedback and you can work on that as the production goes on.
Oh, definitely, that's what we always do. And I always leave it open. It's like with a script, I put in what I want them to say, but I always leave it open during while the cameras we can discuss, and it's like, if you want to change bits, change bits. If you want to add little bits in, add little bits in. We want constant reactions all the way through, so whatever they can bring into the storylines, better
There's
for
always
me.
ad-lib.
Oh, definitely.
Always.
But I think that works because we're not expecting it coming, so it comes and we're shocked by it, but we also carry on acting through it, so that's what we like.
Yeah, because in this production you didn't tell them all of the script, and particularly not all of the in-scene actions.
No, it was all literally on shot. They saw me doing it and they were like, something's happening, but I don't quite know what. We roll the camera and it just happened, and they're like, I didn't expect that. And it's like, got the real reaction then, but I was like, whatever I do, stay in character, and they're like, oh dear, okay.
Yeah, and because there's one bit where you had to work out how long to chew apple for to spit it at your friends and colleagues.
Of course. Well, that, to be fair, the footage lasted about 3 or 4 minutes of me just chewing an apple and just staring at them, and they thought that was the clip.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously that's when Jordan said he's lying, and then I spat out. It just came out, and he didn't expect it. Ryan didn't expect it. I didn't expect how far it was going to fly. It just went everywhere.
One of those grand why Josh moments.
But effective in the film, because
of course,
and again, it was that surprise, and there were things that went on and set that weren't necessarily expected, but made it part of the story that it is. So a 50-minute short, really, isn't it? Yeah.
51 minutes and 33 seconds.
It's a kind of a medium, I suppose, isn't it, rather than anything else? But I mean, that in itself, that's a lot to put together, and an awful lot of editing, and it's part of that experience that you've had through the likes of Paul Inker and the other things that you've done that have helped you all build up the skills that you've got there.
Oh, definitely.
And it's taking what is a Saturday club effectively, and some great stuff that you've done when you've travelled around the country with them, and turning it into something that potentially, if not your main job, could be a great sideline and an extra bit of cash coming in.
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm. And so, Ryan, I mean, when you're doing this, obviously, in the film, you've got a little beard back now, but you have to shave, you have to make personal sacrifices for this movie.
Yeah, I eventually just came up with the idea and said to Josh, so I'm probably want to have a shave soon. It's like, maybe we could do it on film. And it got to the point where it's like, okay, Josh, can we just not? I want to just shave now. I want to get rid of my beard. And he's like going to me, no, it's in the film now. It's scripted. We're doing this.
Yeah, that's irritating.
But that in itself, it's a case of showing off your filmography as well. Because it might be that when you're doing a project like this, you're using it much more of a showcase of what you can do than just telling a story in itself.
Oh, definitely.
So in some cases, it might be a scene which is extended longer than you might do it if you're making an action movie. But for what you're doing here and showing off JJR, then that's what it's about. So it's a balance of the two.
Oh, definitely. Well, what we do with our filming is I watch a lot of films, even films that I probably don't normally watch, just to look at the camera angles. And I mean, this one film called Drive is one of my favourite films with Ryan Gosling. And I've watched it about 5 or 6 times in like a week before I filmed Stay Inside, because the camera angles, it left them running on some bits to the point where it felt awkward to watch. But I liked the idea of it. So a lot of our filming and the cinematography is made up on the spot. It's like, oh, I could get one from the roof. Like this one shot on Stay Inside, I'm having to stand on ladders, balance on the roof, leaning on the roof. Anything could happen. I could fall or anything.
All sorts of awkward positions.
Yeah, and I have to, while Jordan's driving the car, I have to time it just right to slide it down the roof to then zoom up and then zoom down on the car. And I mean, we've done that before at a beach scene on a different film, which we haven't released yet, but we dropped the camera in the sea. So we've got through 3 cameras. This is our 3rd camera we're filming on now.
Well, fingers crossed they can buy waterproof this time round.
Yeah.
But when it comes to it, though, your work on this as actors, a lot of the scenes you were doing just the 2 of you, and which means Josh was probably directing as you went along. And what's it like taking orders from one of your mates?
Taking orders, well, you've got to put up with it, haven't you? We're all part of the film, and we're all in it together. We all want to do it. That's the main thing. We all want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And where do you see this going next? I mean, what are the plans for the future?
Well, we need to find a location for the second half of this film we're doing at the moment.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. It was last time we went to Exmouth at my dad's best mate's house, but unfortunately their daughters moved back and they've taken over the house, so we can't go there anymore. So we're looking for another place to film by a beach location.
Yeah, a house by a beach if possible.
Yeah, and making the most of the environment that you're in.
Oh yeah.
Because again, this is a budget, as you say, but even so, I mean, you can get some good quality cameras for a relatively low price, so you can afford to constantly drop them in the sea.
Well, it's like this camera that we're using at the minute. I think it was something like £450 to £500, but it was a present, so it wasn't sort of like I had to buy it myself. It was sort of my dad bought it as a Christmas present, and it was sort of like all put together. And I was like, right, this is made up. I can use this camera. It's high quality. I can get a lot of shots with this, and it films in slow motion, which is where we can then play with various like punching shots where we like punch and we do it in slow, and then I can speed it up after and all this. And also, like with this budget on this film, we spent about £150 on getting all the fake blood and the prosthetics and things like that. It was just
all that was £100, and then 50 was extras.
well, £100 for all that, and then £50 was the extras, like buying various items that I can smash during the film.
Yeah, you're basically repairing your friend of the family's house at the end of it all as well. But so where can people find this now? Because you can watch it online.
On YouTube, under obviously the channel title JJR Films and Vloggs, which is JJR, Josh Jordan Ryan, Films, and Vlogs is spelt with double G, so we're a bit different from other people.
Okay, so look out for that online. Take a look at the film. It'll be 50, how many minutes?
51 minutes.
51 minutes, how many seconds?
33 seconds.
And 50 minutes, that long. Well worth spent watching a movie put together by these guys at the start of what I think will be very promising film and acting careers. Thank you all.
Thank you
very much.